Vectors. Black Widow is running from the Incredible Hulk. She runs 4 meters west before the Hulk throws her 10 meters north into a wall. To solve for the resultant vector, you're going to use the Pythagorean theorem, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Once you plug in the numbers and find the square root of 116, you will get your resultant vector of 11 meters. Acceleration. Wonder Woman is walking at a velocity of 1.2 meters per second and hears a cry for help. She starts to run to the sound at a velocity of 8.3 meters per second. She gets there in 6.4 seconds. What is her acceleration? For your key, you are given the initial velocity, which is 1.2 meters per second, your final velocity, which is 8.3 meters per second, and your time, which is 6.4. Forces. A plane with a mass of 94,000 kilograms accelerates downward at a rate of 2,000 meters per second squared. Superman flies in to stop the plane from falling. What is the magnitude of the force he uses? For the key, you're looking for the force. Your mass is 94,000 kilograms, and your acceleration is 2,000 meters per second squared. You're going to use the formula force, which is F, equals mass times acceleration. You plug in the numbers and your final answer will be 188 million newtons. Momentum. The Hulk has a mass of 462 kilograms, or 1,040 pounds, and is running at a velocity of 90 meters per second. What is his momentum? For the key, P equals momentum, which is the number you're looking for. The mass is 462 kilograms and the velocity is 90 meters per second. You're going to use the formula P, which is momentum, equals mass times velocity. You plug in the numbers and your final answer for momentum is 41,580 kilograms meters per second. Universal gravitation. Jean Grey is flying above Earth's surface. Her mass is 58 kilograms, and the distance between her and Earth's surface is 100 meters. What is the gravitational attraction between her and Earth? For your key, you are looking for the force of gravity. The gravitational constant is 6.67 times 10 to the negative 11th power newtons meters squared over kilogram squared. The mass of Jean Grey is 58 kilograms and the mass of Earth is 5.98 times 10 to the 24th power kilograms. And the distance between her and Earth is 100 meters. You will use the formula force of gravity equals gravitational constant times mass 1 times mass 2 over the distance squared. You will plug in the numbers and your force of gravity will be 2.31 times 10 to the 12th power. Thor chases away Asgard, but as he is running, he hits a wall. He tries to escape but fails and slides down the wall. If Asgard has a mass of 105 kilograms, what is the friction between him and the wall? For the key, your main components are going to be force of friction, the coefficient of friction, which is 0.68, which is found on the reference table, and your normal force, which is 103,005 newtons. Then you're going to use the formula force of friction equals the coefficient of friction times the normal force. You plug in the numbers and solve for force of friction. Circular motion. The lizard climbed up the side of a building 30 stories high containing 600 people. Spider-Man sends an alert of an attack. The alarm system gives off a light that circles the room with a radius of 6.5 meters and a velocity of 20 meters per second. If the alarm is 2 kilograms in mass, find its centripetal force and centripetal acceleration on the object. For your key, you are looking for the centripetal force and centripetal acceleration. You will have a mass of 2 kilograms and a velocity of 20 meters per second and a radius of 6.5 meters. First, you will use the formula centripetal acceleration equals the velocity squared over the radius. Once you plug in these numbers, you will get an answer of a centripetal acceleration of 62 meters per second squared. Second, you will use the formula centripetal force equals mass times centripetal acceleration. Once you plug in these numbers, you will get a centripetal force of 124 newtons. Projectile motion. Storm is accidentally pushed by a pedestrian and becomes aggravated, causing her to cause a storm. A person nearby is thrown into the air at a velocity of 67 meters per second. Find their total time and height of flight. For your key, you will have already given to you the VIY, which is 67 meters per second, your AY, which is negative 9.81 meters per second, your VY max, which is 0.0 meters per second, and you will have to look for your time for the half flight, your time for the total flight, and your SY max. First, you will use the formula AY equals VY max minus VIY over delta T1 half. Once you plug in all the numbers and solve for T1 half, you will get 6.8 seconds, which means your total time equals 14 seconds. Next, you will use the formula SY max equals VIY times T1 half plus 1 half AY T1 half squared. Once you plug in these numbers, you will get a total answer of 230 meters for your SY max.